Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Now we are coming to the most significant verse in the entire Bhagavad Gita. There are two profound verses here which Lord Krishna had mentioned. One was a very metaphysical statement that he had made in the earlier part of this chapter. Nasato vidyate bhavo na bhavo vidyate sadaga. So that was a very metaphysical, philosophical statement, verse that he had mentioned. Now, is another mystical verse he's introducing here, and he's stating its contents in a very oblique manner. And this verse has got a mystical implication which has to be discerned. So he says, Ya nisha sarva bhutana tasyam jagarati samyami. Yasyam jagrati bhutani sa nisha pashyato munehe. That means, Ya nisha sarva bhutana. That which is darkness, nisha, that which is darkness to all beings, sarva bhutana. Tasyam, in that, jagarti samyami. The samyami means the one who is well disciplined and who is trying to maintain his prajna or awareness in his Atman nature. So such a person is referred to by the word samyami. Samyami is that disciplined spiritual aspirant in that particular state, which is darkness to all beings. Jagarti, he is wide awake. He is wide awake to that. What is that? Ya nisha. What is that which is darkness, which is dark or darkness to all the beings? To the uneducated, unrefined, non-spiritual people who are worldly in nature, for them, the divine is something which they are not totally interested in. So that divine, so they care less about it. So, ya nisha sarva bhutana. So therefore it is stated by it is that which is dark, which they are blind to, that which they are blind to, or wish not to be aware of. In that tasyam, in that particular divine, tasyam, jagarti, samyam, he is this spiritual aspirant aspiring for liberation, is wide awake, jagarti. So that's one meaning. The other meaning is a little more metaphysical in nature, and it's obliquely referred. And that is Yanisha, that which is darkness for all beings. When you close your eyes, you have entered into a realm of darkness. You know nothing. As you close your eyes and wish not to hear anything from the outside world, then you are in darkness. And in that darkness, you see nothing, you know nothing. You neither see nor nothing. And that is, in that state, it's an unknowing state. It's an unknowing state. You know nothing there. You see nothing. But in that state, tasyam jagarti samyami, the spiritually awake person is wide awake there. Is wide awake in the state of interior darkness, wherein you know nothing as you close your eyes. It's the unknowing state. That is why someone in the Western world in the 13th century queried from the German mystic Meister Eckhart, you are introducing people to arrive at the unknowing state, which will lead you to your divine status. It's the unknowing state. It's like, we'll rephrase it a little. It's like entering a tunnel of darkness. So when you close your eyes, you have entered into a tunnel of darkness. There is nothing there. But as you proceed in this tunnel of darkness, you see the light at the end of the tunnel. That divine light would be experienced by each and every one as he proceeds through this darkness. So it is not that many in the world who aspire to get into this realm of inner darkness. There is nothing there. You know nothing, you are nothing, you feel nothing, but you are only simply wide awake there. As you remain wide awake, in due course, as time goes on, as you maintain this state, because not many people are comfortable in remaining in that state, their unknowing state. Then by and by, it is like stating that you see the light at the end of the tunnel. So, as you keep on practicing this, gradually you are proceeding in the tunnel of darkness. This is one of the reasons why some of the yogis in the Himalayan mountains would like to enter a cave so that they can get into meditation there. Because the interior of the cave is naturally dark. I remember having entered into one of those caves, which was pretty long. And as you proceed further and further into it, it is all darkness. You've got to have a flame with you to proceed on. And what is that flame which you are having to proceed on? It is your awareness. So with your awareness, you are proceeding in this tunnel of darkness, Yanisha, having entered it. So you must have the good sense, the good wisdom, and the capability and the capacity and the desire and the wish to get into this state, into the realm of darkness, and then proceed on. So that is what he says here, implies here in this particular verse, which he has very obliquely mentioned. Generally, of course, the first interpretation is what is often opened out in our traditional teachings. So, Ya Nisha, that which is darkness in our traditional teaching, that is to say, the unknown Brahman. So most of the people care not to know about it, not to. So to that Brahman, the divine, the man of spiritual wisdom is Jagarti, is fully awake there, Now the question arises, where should you be in order to be awake? Where should you be? Of course, when you are with open eyes, initially you see the sensory world around you. You see the world. But when you close your eyes and you're not subject to or any thought patterns, any feelings, because if you've got any feelings, you're aware of the feeling. It's not the unknowing state. If you've got thought patterns disturbing, you're aware of the thoughts. But neither the thoughts are there, no feelings are there. You're very quietly serene there. Absolutely calm and quiet and serene. And you are in it. You're proceeding in it. So as you do so, by and by, that divine experience, like the light at the end of the tunnel, will transpire within yourself. So this is the mystical implication of this particular verse. This truth has been obliquely, this mysterious truth as to where you should be, where you should abide. Because in that Sthita Prajna Lakshana, that's the characteristics of an adept whose prajna is established. The question was asked, how does he speak? Where does he sit? Where is he? How does he move about? So here, where does he sit? Where is he? Where is he? Where is he? So if you ask somebody, where are you? He'll tell you that he'll give his address to you. Where are you? So here also, where you should be. So here, this is where you should be. In that realm of darkness which is unknown. There are no contents in it. And in this state, you forget everything. There are three things that you should forget. You should forget the world. You should forget yourself. And you should also forget all religious indoctrinations that you had been so far subject to. all that too should be totally released out of your mind character, so that you are free of it, free of that conditioning too. And then you are wide awake in this darkness, wherein you know nothing, the unknowing state. So your freedom, your enlightenment is there in that unknowing state. The mystery behind this was obliquely and mysteriously indicated in the Old Testament of the Bible. But they are not aware of it, aware of its sense and significance and where it had been indicated. Similarly too, Jesus also mentions about this state. He makes reference to this. And at two places he makes this reference. One is, of course, in the Gospel of Matthew, he mentions it, as to very few find it. Everybody goes by the broad way, but very few find the gate and enter the gate. The gate, what is a gate? A gate is an entry point, an exit point. So, from the gate, you enter the universe. Via the gate, you exit the universe, exit the world. So via the gate, you enter your divine nature. And then, in the Gospel of Thomas, it's also obliquely, this reference is made so in the Gospel of Thomas, which was recently discovered in the Qumran caves about 70 years ago. Now, Lord Buddha too, in an oblique manner, reveals or indicates this particular state. So thus, in all these traditions, this is indicated because that is the doorway to salvation. So that's why I said this is one of the most pertinent, significant, mystically worded verses in the entire Bhagavad Gita. So thus he says, Ya Nisha Sarva Bhutanam, that which is darkness to all beings, Tasyam Jagarti Samyami, the Samyami, the spiritually alert individual, he is wide awake in that. Tasyam Jagarti. Yasyam Jagrati Bhutani, and in which, Yasya, in which, Jagrati Bhutani, all the beings, in which all the beings are alive. And what is that to which all the beings are alive? The objective world indeed. You have two types of worlds. The objective world around you and the subjective world within you too. So there are two worlds. It depends on which world you are living in. Some live in the objective world via their senses. There are others who live in the subjective world of their own mind world. They're caught up in their thought patterns, in their feelings and ideas and movements. So these are the two types of worlds in which a normal man dwells. The outside world or the world inside. And this, in the outside world, you have got a triad. The triad is that the knower, the known, and the knowing process. That's a triad. You, the individual who is the knower, the known universe, and the knowing process, these are triad, and these are normal world in which everyone is floating around. And you have another world in which people float too. That's the inner mind world. So either you are in the mind world within subjectively or objectively in the physical world. So yasyam jagrati bhutani, you're in that world in which, in which people in the world are normally awake. Sa nishas pashyato munehe. For that muni, for that exalted wise person who is contemplating on his divine nature, Sir Nisha, that is darkness indeed. That is to say, he is unaware of this world. The world in which the normal common man dwells and moves about, that world, to that world, for this person, it's all darkness. So he is totally, he doesn't perceive it at all. He doesn't perceive this world. Sa nisha pashyato muneka, for whom? For the muni. Muni means for that mananashilavan muni, for the contemplative individual who is contemplating on his divine nature. For such a person, this enigmatic universe, he's dead to it indeed. He's dead to this world. Sa nisha. He's dead to this world. So sa nisha pashyato munehe. So therefore, one too also should be like that. One should go gradually by and by, become dead to this physical universe indeed. The mental physical world outside and the mental world within too. And then having done that, forget this world indeed. You know what the world is. You know what it is. For whatever it is worth, you know what is worth. It's what it is. And therefore, forget the world totally. Let go the world. Let it go out of your mind. Release the world from yourself. And thereafter be aware of the divine, of the divine within you. And where should you be aware? So, in that unknowing state, which is full of darkness. When you are mentally silent, and you're closed your eyes, you have entered that realm of darkness. Not many people can be comfortable in that. It's only those people who desire to enter into that state. So therefore he says, so in this verse is beautifully mentioned in this manner. Then, having said this much, that was the verse number 69. Verse number 69 it was. So now we get to the verse 70. Verse number 70. Apuryamanam achala pratishtam samudramapaha pravishanti yatvat tadvat kamaha yam pravishanti sarve sa shantimapnoti na kama kami. So now in this verse, he is indicating the state of mind or the frame of mind of a serious spiritual aspirant who is intent on his liberation or on experiencing his divine status. So how is he? What is the frame of mind that he maintains? That is being indicated here with an example. The example is Apuryamanam achala pratishtam samudram apaha. Apaha pravishanti yatva. Just as samudram apaha pravishanti yatva. Just as all the waters enter an ocean. Apaga pravishanti, samudram. So, Just as all the rivers, the river waters and the rain waters, they all enter an ocean. But when they enter the ocean, apuryamanam achala pratishta. This is an example to indicate to you the frame of mind of a yogi, of a spiritual aspirant. Apuryamanam achala pratishtam, an ocean is full. It doesn't lose its, so the ocean is always constant. It doesn't increase its content nor decrease its content. It is ever full indeed. And all the waters which enter that ocean from all rivers in all parts of the world, no matter from where, they do not disturb the ocean's capacity. The ocean remains an ocean of water, undisturbed, ever in constant in nature. It's so surprising that for thousands of years, the waters have been entering the ocean, but the ocean's level remains more or less constant. Of course, leaving aside the glacial situation at the present moment, wherein you have got these, how do you call that? Your modern, shall we say, because of the environmental situation. But otherwise, all these years, the ocean's level has been like that. So it's not affected by all the waters or river waters and rain waters entering the ocean. It maintains its constant placid level indeed. So also, now this is an example that he is giving. So also, tadvat kamaha yam pravishanti sarve. In the similar manner too, all the worldly kama, tatvat kamaha, little pleasures which may enter this. Enter whom? Enter this great yogi, this great spiritual aspirant who is now well rooted and established in his divine state. He's getting established and he's being established in his divine status. So such a person, these little pleasures which come around him, little sensations, whatever they are, via the 5 sense organs or 10 sense organs, whatever they are, they don't disturb him at all. It is inevitable. When you eat food, of course you get some relishing food. If you see a moonlight, the moon, the sun, it gives you a nice experience, nice sensation, but they don't disturb him at all. So tadvat kamaha yam pravishanti sarve. So from all directions, whatever little joys and pleasures, he may have a drink, a soft drink, or a fruit juice. It's not going to in any way create a disturbance in him. He may have some delicious food. That's all right. So in this manner, whatever pleasures that may come around him, little pleasures, they don't disturb the tranquility of his nature. He is ever serene. He absorbs all those little joys which come around him because they are inevitable. So long as you live your life, the little joys which may come, it's a pleasant thing to feel. The warmth of the sun in the winter. In the winter, when you are in high winter, it's nice to feel the warmth of the sun, but that's not going to affect your nature. So yam pravishan, so tatvat kamaha, all the little delectables that may come around him, they don't disturb him at all. So shantim apnoti. So that a person, so this person, such a person only attains to that eternal shantim apnodi. He will eventually attain to that eternal peace. Na kama kami, not the one who is full of desires. A man who has got so many desire patterns and desires within him, such a man will not be able to maintain this state. He is constantly affected by his desires. an ordinary man in the world. But as far as this person is concerned, all these little minute little pleasures which come your way, or pleasing things which come his way, it doesn't disturb him at all, sir. And such a person who has got this capacity to absorb minute little joys which come around him, such a person, sir, shantim apnoti, he would eventually attain, or he attains to that perennial bliss, the perennial state of bliss, of state of peace indeed, shanti. He would obtain peace, the eternal peace indeed. So such a person, only such a person. So this example is being given here to indicate to you that no matter what comes around, you must have the strength and the capacity to absorb it without losing your balance. Then, therefore, that being the case, the next verse mentions to you, therefore, be thus. Therefore, that being the case, the next verse is mentioning, Vihaya kamanyaha sarvan pumams charati nispraha nirmamo nirahankaraka sa shantim adhigachati. So that being the case, that pumams, that individual, so pumams means that individual, puman. So puman also indicates purushaha. So purushaha means that purushaha, purnatvat, purushainatvat, purushaha. So that individual, that yogi, who is said to be a purusha, puman, purushaha, he is referred to by the word purushaha because purusha means purnatvat, he is ever full. He is full within himself. The divine is full within itself. So if you are full within yourself, you are self-complete. So when you are self-complete, there is nothing that you have to do and nothing that you have to, and nothing which you get will enhance your fullness. So therefore, pumams, this individual who is said to be a purusha, pumam, purusha, so he is ever full. So all that he has to do is be thus. Be in a state wherein you feel that you need nothing, you want nothing. Once wisdom has dawned within you, automatically a feeling comes into this person. Along with wisdom, detachment also comes in. For such a person, he wants nothing, he needs nothing. He is what he is, abiding in his own natural state. So such a person, pumams, charati nispraha, vihaya kamanyaha, having given up or released, having released what? Vihaya kama. Having given up the tendency to desire for anything. The tendency to even desire is not there. Even that tendency he doesn't have. Because he has the wisdom to know for your prarabdha karma, your karma which has been ordained for you in this life in the form of two things. In the form of all experiences that you are to have will come to you. Whether you want it or not, it will come to you. All the experiences and the karmas that you have to go through will automatically come to you. at its appointed time, which you fortunately do not know. Then at the same time, all the things that you require in this life for your existence, all the worldly goods, including your food, will automatically come to you at the appointed time. As day in and day out goes, as per the ordained destiny of yours, you will receive the goods of your life, whether you want it or not. So therefore, there is no need for you to desire for anything, because what you will get, you will definitely get. What you will not get, you will definitely not get. So why upset yourself? Why lose your equilibrium and balance by desiring or wishing for anything? So you can live your life without wishing and desiring for anything. Because whatever you are meant to get will automatically you will get at the appointed hour, and whatever you are not to get, you will never get. So this amount of basic wisdom is necessary, because we are supposed to live our life with acquired wisdom. So therefore, this wise man who is now getting established in his divine nature, knowing this very well, Vihaya Kaman Yaha Sarvan, he automatically releases even the need to desire for everything. All the desires he releases. Even the need to desire for anything he releases. Because he knows very well that in the first place, he doesn't have a need for it. And secondly, he knows that what he will get will come to him automatically. What we will not get, he will not get. It's ordained by destiny. It's by destiny. So, Sarvan, Vihaya Kamanyah Sarvan, Pumams Charati Nispragaha. Therefore, such a person without Nispragaha, without any wants, any desires, he can move about freely. He is a free man. He is a free person. Since he has no wishes, no desire, nispraga. So in such a way, he moves and functions in the world indeed. And along with that, how does he move? Nirmamo nirahankara. And furthermore, two more things he entertains or maintains. Without feeling of nirmama, without the feeling of mindness. This is my property, my house, my wealth, my this, my family, my religion, this my, he is free of this mind. So the feeling of this mindness does not come into this wealth, into his nature. So nirmama, nirahankara, and at the same time, without a sense of egoism, that feeling of I. In short, he functions like a little child. A child has got very little ego, a little child. Similarly, also, this person has got a unique character within himself, wherein he has no egoism, no arrogance, no pride, no vanity. Because it is this which constitutes the sense of ego, the arrogance, the pride, the vanity, etc. So he is free of that. And then the next problem which the human race has is the possessions. Mama, my things, my family, my people, mine. So he is free of that too. Nothing is his. He knows it very well. He is a pilgrim on planet Earth. You can put it that way. So when you are a pilgrim, you are traveling like a pilgrim, and on your way, you don't grab things. You just proceed on. So he doesn't feel. On your way, You may find things for your sustenance. Just go take your things which are needed for your sustenance and proceed on. So nirmama nirhankara. So such a person, sa shantim adhigacchati. He attains to perennial peace, shanti. Sa shantim adhigacchati. So what is that state of perennial peace? That final peace, which passeth all understanding. And that state of peace is wherein he has become freed of all works. He has become free of all traits, all human traits which he had previously. So that final peace which this person has gets to, arrives at, in that particular state, there is nothing more for him to do anymore in this universe. He is tranquil and calm and quiet, totally serene within himself. So that is that peace which he attains, the supreme peace. Then, having said this much, in the last verse of the Bhagavad Gita, of the 2nd chapter, he says, so before that, we could say this much. Therefore, the way to peace is to be self-content. Self-content. In short, if you are self-content, you'll be content at all times, anywhere and everywhere. If you are not self-content, you will not be at peace anywhere and everywhere. So being self-content, learn to function and live in the world. Being self-content, immediately you will find a great peace entering within you. So then he says in the last verse, Esha Brahmi Stitihi Partha Nainam Prapya Vimuhyati Stitva Asyam Antakalepi Brahma Nirvanam Richati. Esha Brahmi Stitihi. Thus, so far, all that which has been mentioned in the previous verses is indicating to you Brahmi Stitihi, the way to abide in Brahman. Brahmi Stitihi, the way of abidance in Brahman. So, it involved two factors. One was the awareness of Brahman, and then the auxiliary practices which are needful to maintain this awareness, which have been so far enumerated during the course of this chapter. So this is the state. Esha Brahmi Stitihi, the way to abide in Brahman, the way to abide in the glory of your divine nature, the Atman. Partha Nainam Prapya Vimuhyati. And the person who has attained or to reach that Nainam, Enam Prapya, he does not get deluded anymore. He does not get deluded by the world around. So all delusions have gone away. And what is the delusion? What is the delusion? Of course, Arjuna had the delusion in the beginning of the chapter. And what was his delusion? Na enam prapya vimukha. So once you have obtained this good knowledge and you are able to abide in this good knowledge, then you become free of all delusion. No vimuhyati. No enam vimuhyati. And what is the initial delusion of Arjuna? What to do? What to do was his initial, that was the initial question. what to do, because he was in a perplexity as to what dharma, what is the rightful way of operating in the world. So what to do? That delusion goes away. Then secondly, how to do it? What to do is the first thing. Of course, what to do is very clear, because Krishna had told him what to do. You've got to do your duty. Huh? You've got to do what your nature impels you to do now, because you've got the nature of your Kshatriya, and that is your natural nature indeed. Huh? And therefore, you've got to go through your duty, your functions, and therefore, that is what you have to do. What to do? So that gets answered there. How to do? How to do? Second question. Huh? So that's Lord Krishna is telling you how to do. How to do is mentioning, he's telling you, okay, maintain a state of mental equipoise. So he tells him, Samatvam Yoga Uchate. Maintain a state of mental equilibrium, equipoise. Practice the science of Karma Yoga, which he had mentioned during the course of this chapter as to the ingredients or the components of Karma Yoga. So how to do? How to do is also has been explained. So Lord Krishna has explained how to do. Then the next question is, why to do? Why? Simply because you have to do. Your nature is such that you are a Kshatriya by nature, and therefore you have to now do your duty, worldly duty. So why you should do it? That also Lord Krishna had mentioned. And then, having said this much, in doing all this, where should you abide? There's a fourth question. Where to abide? Are you to abide in Kurukshetra, where the battle was taking place? Kurukshetra is a place which is 100 miles north of New Delhi. In the town of Kurukshetra, when I was there in the town area, they told me whether it was a fiction or false, it was 10 miles away from the main town. How they came to arrive at that conclusion is God only knows, but it is Kurukshetra. And in that Kurukshetra area, somewhere in that area, the battle took place. So he's not asking Krishna. Krishna is not asking him to abide in Kurukshetra, nor in Hastinapura, nor the subsequent capital, but he wanted them to abide where? Where to abide? In the Atman. So that's the education that he's giving him. That is where you have to abide. You have to abide in your divine nature, in your Atman nature, reposing there in your Atman nature, then thereafter subsequently go through your operations as a karma yogi. As a karma yogi. So thus, all delusions have gone away. Na enam prapya vimuhyati. He doesn't get deluded anymore. He knows how to live now. Because don't ever forget, the Bhagavad Gita is a text on how to live in the world and attain enlightenment. That's the theme and the subject matter of the entire Bhagavad Gita. So you are to live in the world and attain enlightenment. That's the theme. And then he says, so therefore, Sitva asya antakalepi, asyam, sitva asyam antakalepi. So even at the fag end of your life, at the latter part of your life, even at the latter part of your life, if you have got the good fortune and the good merit Not only the good fortune, if you have the good merit to so abide in the Atman, that is to say, you must be a good soul. Only to a good soul who has tried to live his life as a noble individual would this tendency, this is a tendency, a very strong tendency to abide in your Atman nature, in your divine nature, will come to a person. It doesn't come to everybody. The others, they go about minding their own worldly business, worldly life, worldly comforts, fulfilling their worldly wants and things. But here is this person, this unique individual, whoever he is, even having resorted to this knowledge, now he is in a position to, having acquired during the course of this lifetime certain merit or virtues by living a noble, honorable life. If for such a person, stitva asya antakale, even at the latter part of his life, stitva asya antakalepi, Brahma nirvanam richati. He attains to a state of nirvana in Brahman. Brahma nirvanam richati. That is the final state. So here two words have been used. One is Brahman, the other is Nirvana. So Brahma, Nirvana in Brahman. What do these two words mean? Brahma, Nirvanam, Richati. Why is it that two words have been used here by Lord Krishna? Brahma indicates a state positively. Nirvana indicates the same state in a negative make. Negatively speaking, Nirvana means your individuality is no more. Nirvana. You're like a candle flame. Until this long, you maintained your individuality like a candle flame. And that flickering candle flame, which was you, which was flickering, buffeted by the wind. The wind blows this way, you get buffeted that way. So you are that individual who is getting buffeted by the things of the world, like the candle flame, which has been flicked around by the breeze around, by the wind around. So that gets snuffed out. Your individuality is no more. You no more have an independent existence as a human individual. This individual identity has disappeared, gone away, is no more. What a wonderful thing. And then, secondly, Nirvana means the universe has also simultaneously attained to the state of shunya, nothingness. The universe has disappeared. The entire nirvana. So, the universe is no more. Your individuality is no more. But, even though your individuality is no more, nevertheless, you are there as the Atman with a capital A. And that Atman nature is your divine nature. And that divine nature is referred to by the word Brahman. So when you arrive at Brahman, at your Brahman nature, at your divine status, you will lose these two things. One is your individuality ceases to be, along with the universe. They both disappear. And then what remains thereafter is your Brahman nature, your divine status, which is ever full and self-complete and perfect. You become paripurna, ever self-complete, perfect. And that's the aspiration of every person in the world. So every person wishes to be self-complete. And that self-complete state is what is referred to by the word Brahman or God in religious language. So you attain to that wonderful, wondrous state. Huh? At that time. So in order to attain to that wondrous state, initially, you've got to now learn to abide. The entire chapter is teaching you the process by which you will be able to abide along with its component factors. Is teaching you how to abide, in what way to abide, what are the requisite factors which are necessary for you to accomplish this. All this has been mentioned in this particular chapter. Om Tat Sat.